Welcome to Bastard Quest. I'm the Game Bastard Kyle.
I am Todd.
Corey.
I'm Austin.
We are playing the One Ring Moria through the doors of DURIN.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
Well, yes, that's true. If you're just finding Bastard Quest for the first time, we've played quite a bit of the One Ring, so you might want to dial back a couple episodes, and this will all make more sense. Todd, who are you playing?
Bungo Tuk. I am an hobbit.
Agreed. Austin?
I'm Zephyra, the dwarf. He's miserable.
Yeah, you are miserable because your shadow exceeds
Because I made this badass fucking ring.
Yeah.
But it's only for fighting Balrogs. This is no benefit whatsoever.
Nope.
None at all. But you are miserable, so if you roll the feat die and the Eye of Sauron comes up, that means any skill check automatically fails.
Yep.
Corey, are you miserable?
I'm fine. Doing great.
Great.
Like I just walked out of Gandalf's house.
Big smile on his face.
Lighter on his feet.
Smoking a cigarette.
Sweaty.
I always wondered about that. Radagast the Brown has a house. Saruman does. Gandalf, nah.
That's because he's flopping in people's places.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's...
That's what he does.
I just want us to establish once and for all that Gandalf is a homeless drifter.
A horny, weird old man.
He's the hobo wizard.
I've honestly been thinking a lot about horny Gandalf in the past couple weeks, and maybe
we know.
Maybe it's because we've
Carry
been
on.
playing this, and also it's been talked about on the Discord and everything. But basically, like when you think about Lord of the Rings, the novels, the movies, very little sex.
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine if there is any...
There's not.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there is hobbits, so yes, the sex is little.
What?
Shut up.
My point being, granted, they're dark books. A lot of bad stuff's going on. No time for hanky panky,
Yeah.
as the hobbits call it. So essentially, what I'm saying, like Gandalf, like with these orgies that he puts on, is doing a service.
I see.
The Lord's word.
It's the purge of fucking, because they don't get time for the humpins.
I see.
So it's just building up inside of them. They're like, oh goddamn, another war. And
I see what you're saying. So then the elves were like, fuck it, we're out.
Well, the elves are always fucking.
You guys stopped having sex, so we're headed to the Grey Havens.
So Gandalf was helping with his purge.
Yeah, he was an evangelist of coitus.
He was purges. That's what he's doing. Get it out of your system one day a year at Gandalf's place, which you got to know the password. Like, you think the map we have is complicated?
But again, we've brought it full circle to what is Gandalf's place?
Apparently it's a brothel, Austin.
It's a big horny basket of...
It's Bree.
Bree.
She's there, but it's not her house.
Yeah.
It's a different place. You got to have the password. You got to answer.
Oh, okay. So it's like a key party. It's a different place every time.
Oh no, this is Lord of the Ring. You got to answer riddles to figure out where the fuckatorium is.
I'm on fucking board.
Okay.
Just he sleeps on a bed made of cheese.
Oh, why?
Brie.
Oh, I see.
We established, I think, at one point when we first started discussing this that Hobbit sex is horrifying. So I didn't go into any detail. But Gandalf, out of the goodness of his heart, did offer to have a Hobbit orgy, and the Hobbits collectively decided if he could just magically make all the potatoes have holes.
Dear Lord, I can't wait to stop playing.
They were
this.
like, just put holes in the potatoes, and then shoot off those fireworks, and we'll be Hobbit happy.
That's what gets them off.
Yeah.
I have nothing to add to that.
Yeah.
Have I mentioned that Bungo's kink is shaved feet?
You actually have.
Have I? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a huge part of his character.
Oh God.
Is it like completely shaved, or can they like shave the feet into like shapes? Like
It's tasteful.
No. He likes
Topiary feet.
He likes the feet to be completely bare.
Okay.
You know.
Like they wouldn't have had the terminology for a landing strip, but you know what I'm.
Ultimately, his favorite is the completely barefoot, and it's in a pair of flip flops.
Oh.
He learned it from his friend Quentin Tarantino.
All right, where were we?
Why
even keep playing?
Right.
I don't remember. I don't know why I've lost it.
I want to go home and hug my dog.
Can't wait to play the elf game.
You guys were in the lost citadel, the Ringsmiths, deep within Moria. You had recovered some ring lore. You had completed the last ring, as it's called in the book. Likely the last ring to be crafted in Middle-earth of a magical nature. Obviously, there's some jewelsmith somewhere hammering out wedding bands. And you had the option of departing or opening a door that was closed. And, of course, you chose to open the door. And there you would come face to face with a ring wight. Now, this is different from a ring wraith, which are the Nazgul, the nine, as it were. These ring wights are the remains of the ringsmiths who gave it their all, poured into their craft.
They were the ones who were trying to create the fake rings, like the fake ring of DURIN we have?
Well, yes.
But they fucked around and found out.
They did.
Okay.
They created that copy. They created others as well. It is no mean thing to craft a ring of power, which they found out, yes.
It was just like when Robin Thicke plagiarized Marvin Gaye and had to go to court.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that, Tucker.
Exactly.
That's actually that is actually the foundation of this book.
Also, the creators of slap bracelets.
Yep.
They're damned.
They actually discussed those in the section with the Balrog.
That one's for you, Gen Zers.
Yeah.
So, the three of you are in a darkened corridor in the Lost Citadel of the Ringsmiths. You've just opened a sealed door that leads into what is clearly a crypt, though there is...
Is sealed doors here?
Yep. You opened a sealed door.
Sometimes I wonder why Corey's sitting so silently, and it's because he's listening for bullshit like that.
And his passage is open, if you get my meaning.
Read more about it in the Skin Marillion.
Haven't seen you since the last Purgy.
When Tolkien's works finally enter public domain, just you people prepare yourselves.
Look what they did to Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
I mean,
So you're face to face with a ring wight. It stands just on the threshold of this door that you've opened. Beyond, you can see crypts and coffins and treasure as well. And from these sealed sarcophagi, you can clearly hear scraping and banging of more creatures attempting to escape.
okay, so we sit on those.
Yeah. Well, that's a classic solution.
Yeah.
So the ring white is raising up the rest of these, or are they also whites?
So the ring wight doesn't seem... It is focused squarely on you. It doesn't seem to be doing anything other than preparing to attack. Whether or not it has some power over what is in the sealed tombs, you don't know. It doesn't appear to be doing anything of that nature.
Okay, Kyle, before we get into combat, I want to mention that I do have the Lance of Falling Leaves,
Sure.
which does have a Bane aspect to it against wolves and undead.
Wow.
Whites are undead, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, they are...
Every white I know is.
actually, according to the book, they're feline.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
it's right here written in my book. Let me just scribble here. No, of course,
Well,
yes.
it also has feline HIV. What does that mean?
Yeah, they are, of course, undead.
So basically, it's the bane of wolves and undead.
Okay.
And it also has luminescence. Being the bane of wolves and undead, when undead and wolves are around, it glows like Sting does around orcs.
It's glowing.
So what I'm asking is, shouldn't we have been alerted that there was some undead creature here before, and that give us some kind of like advantage to the opening volleys or some kind of combat advantage?
Sure.
Yes.
I mean, I think the critical factor is that there was no Sam around to go, Mr. Frodo, and point out that it was glowing.
I started to say, dumbass kept it in its fucking sheath most of the time, and I think this was probably in its scabbard.
Ezel's been staring at this thing for months. Look, it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it would probably had started glowing the moment you guys started opening the door, so you're not at all surprised or anything of that nature.
Okay.
And you will definitely get opening volleys. Of course, the ring wight won't. It doesn't have any missile weapons with which to fire.
Okay.
Right, but there's always opening volleys. Surely we get some kind of advantage because of my luminescence.
You can have one more than normal opening volley.
And I want to mention it being the bane of the undead. If I remember correctly, bane means the undead is scared of it. It's kind of like when you're at one of the purges and the Rohirrim show up with bridles in hand. It's like everybody kind of recoils. Hate it when Wormtongue shows up.
So what Bane does varies upon the specificity of the magic. Generally, it's going to make the piercing blow better against those sorts of opponents. They fear it, like we see when the orcs fear, Glamdring?
Sure.
In The Hobbit,
Yep.
when they're revealed in Goblin Town.
Yep.
It's just overall something that they don't want to contend with if they can help it. And this is like a innate effect. So even though the ring white is not what we might think of as classically intelligent, it's going to recognize that, ooh, fire bad.
Yeah.
Right.
So in general, it allows you to handle more opponents at a time in battle, and then it further lowers the threshold for piercing blow. Because yours, Corey, is now, 8+
Yep.
on the feat die?
Correct.
Yeah, so if, say, a dozen ring whites were to burst forth from these sealed coffins
Yeah.
and charge in against you, they might not necessarily overwhelm you in a tide of undead dwarven flesh as I'd planned.
Okay.
Well, they might not, Kyle, you shady son of a bitch, because there were only 7 dwarves given rings.
That has nothing to do with how many ring whites there are, Austin. I did not determine the number of ring whites in here. You're going to have to be mad at the Italian people that made this book. And the Swedes. Also blame the Swedes.
All right, so we're doing opening volleys.
We are doing opening volleys. Oh, actually, first, this is a thing of terror. So all PCs will gain 3 shadow unless they succeed on a valor test.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
And that happens the moment you see it.
Okay. I have a 1 in Valor, so I'm rolling a D12 and a D6.
Yep.
Well, Zip's going to use his wisdom because my untamable spirit virtue actually allows me plus 1d when resisting darkness.
Ooh.
And I've already got a wisdom of 3.
Cool.
That's fine. I don't know what the rules are.
Cool.
I'll be rolling 1d6 as my valor is also 1.
Is anybody spending hope?
I'll spend a hope. I got tons.
What a prick.
I will also spend a hope.
What a little prick.
Well, I guess technically, Austin, you can still spend hope.
I could, but I'm rolling 4d6. I think I'm okay. Famous last words.
I was going to say, why would you do that?
Okay. And my heart target number is 18.
My wit's target number is 15.
My heart target number is 13.
What'd you get, Austin?
Well, I actually rolled 2 successes, but I rolled a Sauron.
Oh. You miserable bastard.
That is 3 shadow for you.
Okay.
I mean, at this point.
Todd, what'd you get?
14.
Cool. Corey,
I got a 14 as well, so I missed mine.
you take 3 shadow.
Okay, I'm up to 5.
So each of you is entitled to 1 ranged attack against the ring white.
Okay.
And since it is shying away at the brightness of the elven lance, you can each have a bonus d6.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Cool.
So I have a 3 in bows. That's going to give me 4 D4s.
I have a 2 in bows, so I'm going to be rolling 3d6. Target number for strength is a 14.
Mine is 14 as well.
I will be throwing my Grievous short spear.
Every time I just want to make a Star Wars joke.
Yeah.
Hello there.
And I have a 1 in spears, so I'm going to spend another hope.
All right.
Okay, so I will be rolling 3d6s along with my d20. And my target number is 17.
Let's volley.
Yeah!
I got a 19 with 1 success.
I rolled a 22 with 1 success.
Good Lord.
Let's see. I rolled a 5, a 3, and a 1. That's 9. And on the d20, I rolled an 8. So that must be 17 exactly, which was my target number.
Good job.
I feel like Bungo throws his spear underhand. Yeah, there you go.
I learned how to throw my spear by playing yard darts.
Did anyone roll a piercing blow by getting a 10 or better on their feet die?
I did. I rolled an 11 on my d12.
Nope.
I did not.
Difficulty for injury on my bow is a 14.
And the short spear is also 14, and it is grievous.
Mine is 16 on my great bow.
So it failed its injury roll to not suffer a wound. However, it's deathless, so it's just going to spend a hate and cancel that wound.
Well, one of Ezel's virtues is Gleam of Wrath. On a successful attack, adversary loses 1 hate.
Oh, and you made a successful attack.
Surely did.
Well, I don't care for that.
Well,
Also, I do have heavy blow on my bow, and I did roll 1 success with my attack.
Ezel also has heavy blow with his great bow. He got it at one of the purges.
So with heavy blow, you can spend a success
You ain't kidding.
to inflict an additional loss of endurance equal to your strength rating.
I'll do it because my strength rating is a 6.
Yeah, I got a 6 on one of my D6s, so I'll spend that success.
And you guys are using bows, right?
Yes, my
Yes.
normal bow damage is 3.
Which are two-handed weapons, so it's an additional +1.
Okay.
Okay,
My normal great bow damage is 4.
so that's a grand total of 10 from me.
Okay, and my strength rating is 6. I have a base damage of 4 with my great bow +1. That's 11.
Good lord. 2 great arrows stream out from the dwarf and the elf, slamming into the ring right. Todd, how much piddly damage does your tiny hobbit do?
It says 4 under damage.
But is the hobbit's stupid spear that does the felling blow,
Oh, shit.
taking the ring right's head off just above the jaw.
Oh, my God.
It tumbles back into the darkness,
Okay, well.
clattering amidst the feet of the other ring whites that are now advancing out of the shadows.
Well, shit.
So long, tidy whitey.
Then you hear a hissing. Behind you, another stands only a few paces away, wearing the same clothes as the one that earlier Zip so callously knocked off her resting place.
Stand back, fellas. That's what's bad.
And we are in regular combat. Gentlemen, take your positions.
Zip draws his mattock and, of course, gets into forward stance.
Ezel's going to go open with this one. I don't get advantage or disadvantage, but I think I can use my bow or my great spear in this position, correct?
So, open stance is close combat.
Oh, okay.
You fight without sparing yourself, but giving proper attention to your enemy's actions. Basically, you have no advantage or disadvantage, and you can rally your comrades.
Can I make a suggestion, Kyle?
You can.
Since we are still fighting whites and Corey's lance is still the bane of undead, could we say that at least gives us a chance for an opening volley against any whites we come across?
No. No, I don't think so. That's too good.
Essentially, what I'm wanting to use open for in this is I'm going to position myself between the whites and my compatriots
Sure.
to use my Bane spear to kind of keep them at bay and let them handle the thing behind us.
Yeah, I would say this. I would say properly positioned, which we can call it open stance, or defensive might actually be more appropriate. Ezel could essentially wall off all the whites inside the tomb and allow Bungo and Zip to deal with the fallen ringsmith behind them. Yeah.
Okay.
Because normally in a combat, a single character could only handle up to 2 opponents. But in this case, given that it's a Bane weapon and the tight confines of the corridor, and Ezel's an elf, yeah, I'll say he could take on the whole horde.
Okay.
So I guess then it would be logical for Bungo to take the open stance.
It's not a terrible idea.
Sure.
So Austin's forward, Todd is open, and Corey, are you going to go defensive?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense in this situation. I can still attack defensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
It would keep you a little safer while you're holding them off single-handedly.
Right. All attacks at me lose a D, and my attack rolls also lose a D.
Okay, so players go first, specifically those in forward stance, which I believe applies to Zip Theron. So Austin, your move.
All right, lady, here we go. And he swings his mattock with abandon at this white's head.
All right. Spending any hope?
I have a 3 in axes, so not so far. So I'm just rolling 1d12 and 3d6.
You are in forward stance.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I get my extra d6. Target number for strength is a 14. There's another hell of a blow. Rolled an 11 on the d12, so that's going to be a piercing blow. And a grand total of 24. No additional successes, though. So my mattock traditionally does 7 damage. The difficulty for rolling against an injury, though, on a piercing blow is 18.
I'm not even going to roll because it cracks her head. It spins around and just comes back to rest facing you. She's spinning a hate to ignore the wound. Oof. Undead, bro. Todd, you're in open stance.
Bungo, be a mean Mr. Mustard.
I guess it's time for me to get my sword and try another little pokey wokey on this whitey tighty.
Okay. Said the same thing at the last purgy.
So yeah, I'll be going with the short sword again. My combat task in open is to rally my comrades in Hearten, but I feel like I should probably choose violence in
Not
this
the time for the
situation.
recorder.
Yeah, I'm starting to say I don't think anybody wants a song right now.
Yeah, maybe not.
I have 2 in swords, and my target number in strength is 17.
All right.
So that is 2 d6s along with the d12. Oh, it's that boy! Oh, and I got a additional success on the d6.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Do you have heavy blow or anything on your short sword?
I do not.
He has rimming.
God, stop it, Corey.
Is this another thing we're banned from now? Colostomy bags and orgies.
Only when concerning Middle-earth.
Bungo surges forward, slamming the sword through the White's ribcage. Bones crack and shatter. She stumbles back and spins a hate to ignore the wound.
Oh.
Corey.
Hello.
So there is a combat task I don't think we've ever used. It's in defensive stance. It's protect companion.
Yes. Use battle for that, I see.
Yeah, and essentially, if you succeed in every additional success, you can essentially reduce the effective dice of somebody targeting a particular companion. In this case, I'm going to say if you roll high enough for your protect companion, you will be able to keep all the Whites away from your compatriots.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to definitely do that. I have a 2 in battle.
Are you spending any hope?
Yes. Puts me down to 15. So that puts me at 3d6. My target number is 18. Hard is not Ezel's strong point. Ooh, got a 19.
Nice. Did you get any successes?
Nope. But Ezel takes the lance of the falling leaves and starts spinning it at an impossible speeds, like a windmill, and pushes it towards the oncoming Whites.
The undead ringsmith is going to lunge for Zip because he is in forward stance, and that means she gets more dice. Aha! All right, Austin, she's going to hit you on a 15. It is the Eye of Sauron, so I'm going to say that's a wound for bad guys, because it doesn't make sense if they roll the Gandalf. That shouldn't be good for them.
I started to say, I think the Eye of Sauron is that boy Gandalf for the bad guys.
It probably is. Austin, what is your parry?
It's 14.
She hit a 15.
Okay. My total protection from my armor is 5d plus 2.
You're a dwarf, so that makes sense that you have a good bit of chunky boy armor.
So am I rolling to defend against the injury?
Yeah, because she rolled a 1 on the Eye of Sauron, so unless you want a wound, you could just have one.
All right, so yeah, I'm rolling my d12 and 5d6. Oh, but there's the Eye of Sauron.
Goddamn, Austin.
Getting them out of the way.
Okay.
That bad boy.
That butthole.
So, Austin, you are wounded. So check the wounded box on your character sheet.
Okay, now what's that do?
Austin, do you have any boxes that aren't checked right now?
I am not weary. Believe it or not.
Well,
What's wounded do? Am I just not allowed to roll a d12?
you get to roll on the wound severity table
Oh, God.
using a feat die.
Okay, so do I just roll it?
Are the feet shaved?
Well, depends on how poorly you roll.
I see.
Okay, here I
Your
go.
wound is shaven feet.
I'm fine with it.
Oh, no, my foot beards.
All right, here I go. That's also a 1.
Grievous injury.
Oh, my God.
The ring white shrieks, a piercing keen that cuts through the din of battle. Heretofore unforeseen, a mighty hammer forged in Khazad-dûm is brought forth. She slams this into Zip's chest, denting his breastplate, knocking the breath from his body, knocking him to the ground, unconscious, with 0 endurance, and dying.
Oh,
good
no.
Lord.
Actually, I'm kidding.
Jesus.
No, that's all true.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, that just happened.
Oh, God.
You should stop rolling the Eye of Sauron.
Yeah.
I
Well,
recommend
I guess
it.
now I will.
Oh, well, we're all in agreement.
I don't have any. I can't roll anything now. I'm fucking knocked out.
Yes, you are dying. You must receive a successful healing roll within approximately 1 hour or you will die.
Okay.
I would like to mention that as part of his gear, Bungo has a balm for pain, which is a healing potion.
And I will also mention Ezel's one useful item is opium, which he uses for healing.
And I will also mention none of that can be applied while you're fighting ring whites in the depths of Moria.
Okay.
Somebody better fireman carry this sumbitch out of here.
Okay.
He literally took 28 endurance off me.
It's automatic. If you roll the Eye of Sauron after you take a wound, you're knocked out and your endurance is just to 0.
And
it
you're
doesn't matter what it
miserable.
is.
I mean, it was a bad scene altogether.
Yeah.
Bad rolling on your part.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in you.
So, top of the new round.
And top of the new round to you. Twat twat.
Ezel and Bungo have just seen their dwarven companion laid low by a hideous ring white, seething with hate. What will you guys like to do?
So can we change our combat stances in combat, or are we just in that for the whole time?
I would be open to it. I believe you can, yeah. It just depends on what you're doing.
Okay. Well, either way, give us a lay of the land here. How much has Ezel done to keep the other whites away, having been successful with his protect companion role and all that jazz, and his bane spear and all that?
So you guys were at the entrance to a tunnel that leads into the crypts. This tunnel comes off the main great kind of hall that is the center of the Lost Citadel of the Ringsmiths.
Yep.
The Ringsmith Ring White that came behind you came out of their work halls. So all the other whites that were interred in the crypts are held back, still in the crypts. There's only one between you guys and essentially the exit.
So can Ezel switch from defensive to forward to attack? Because the other whites are pretty much kept at bay at this point. And we need to try to grab Zip and get the fuck out of Moria. Why we even came here in the first place, I have no idea. I've told you guys I didn't want to play this game no more.
Yeah, I think you could attempt that. Obviously, there's going to be some rolling dice involved, but sure. You would essentially need to slay the rig white behind you as quickly as possible and then run like hell.
Okay, I do that.
If only it were that simple.
Yeah. So with the lesser whites at bay, Ezel turns towards the prime ringsmith and attacks with the Lance of Fallen Leaves.
Her name is Caitlin. Caitlin the Ringsmith Ring White.
Oh, okay.
Named for patron Caitlin Matchett.
Yeah, thank you, Caitlin.
Yeah, I'm hoping you kill the rest of them.
Howdy do.
Ezel surges forward, his lance shining to attack the poor Patreon member just defending herself. And you get an extra 1d from being in forward stance.
Yep, and this is also Bane against the undead.
It is. So I think I would also say that when facing a Bane weapon, they couldn't do something like use their hate to activate their Deathless ability.
Okay.
Because that doesn't seem like something they should be able to resist against a Bane weapon.
They're not trying to hate while they're scared.
No.
You ever tried it?
I don't think so.
Don't.
Noted.
Fucking crazy.
I'll jot it down in my book of things not to do.
So I'm rolling my d12 and 3 d6. Just barely. Got a 15.
What'd you roll on the feet die?
A 3. Did not get a piercing blow.
Oof. How much endurance damage do you do?
The Great Spear does 5 damage.
I don't often say this, but it looks like it's all up to Bungo.
Okay.
Time for the recorder.
As I say, I wrote a song just for this occasion.
Dear Caitlin, yes, my favorite bungo tune.
You know, I really wish I had brought along the dog.
We all wish that.
So Zip is on the verge of death.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's my least favorite.
I feel it's so tangy right now.
Ezel is okay, but his last attack virtually had no effect.
It did debilitate her endurance somewhat, though she has a substantial amount.
Now, give me the layout here, Kyle. Where, like, as
Yeah.
far as where we are, where she is.
Well, I'll tell you what, since you have thoroughly explored it, I'll just show you that on the handy-dandy little map
Yes.
that they have of the Lost Citadel of the Ringsmiths.
Damn, more maps?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So there's the Great Hall that you're in, and you're in the sort of, I guess, upper right-hand corner of it.
Okay.
Which is where there's this door to the catacombs, the tombs, where all the ring whites are coming out of, except for the one.
Oh, wait, so we're not in the tombs?
No, you guys never said you went in.
Oh.
Okay, so you mentioned a door.
Yeah, you opened a door. It was the only sealed door in here, and you guys opened it.
What happens if we just close the door?
Well, they're not super good with knobs.
Oh, they're not getting invited to the orgy.
I mean, these aren't high-quality ring wraiths.
Yeah, these are Kmart henchmen.
Okay. Bungo steps forward and closes the door.
Heroically slam.
Not trying to heat the whole neighborhood.
What, were you wraiths born in a barn?
I mean, I am going to make you roll dice to do that, because this is combat.
Sure. I'm thinking stealth. He's going to slip past and close the door.
Yeah, Ezel is distracting her with his Bane spear, and Bungo just slips right out of the way. She's not worried about Bungo. She got stabbed by him and was like, seriously?
There's no way you can be stealthy here. So, valiant effort, but no, you're going to have to go with something else.
Okay, I don't suppose she'd be down for a little riddly diddly, would she?
I can't riddle the door closed.
Okay, how about awareness?
Sure. To notice the door. That,
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah, door.
It's the thing that opens and closes. We opened it. Now I just got to close it.
Wish I'd have thought of that.
Okay.
Brilliant. I hope one day the entire livelihood of this world rests on the hands of a hobbit. And maybe his fat friend.
So I'm going to spend a hope. My awareness is 2, so that's going to give me 3 D6 in addition to my D12.
Wait, what's that? Caw-caw! It's the Eagles!
My target number is 17. Total of 20.
Damn,
No,
Bungo.
Wow.
no additional successes. But hobbits are great at closing doors.
I'm glad we brought a ninja.
More like took us right out of the fight.
So there's this scene of like Bungo's looking around, sees the door, just reaches out one hand, just click. Whites are banging on the other end as he latches it.
The whites are like, what is this new sorcery?
Such technology is beyond us. But Caitlin is going to try to rend Ezel. No, sadly, no Eye of Sauron. Corey, what is your parry?
18.
Ah, she rolled a 17. That's hurtful. Ezel definitely spins away from her raging hammer, crashes into the tiles on the floor, cracking, splitting them. And it is your turn again.
Ezel's going to remain forward and attack this woman again
All right.
with the Lance of Falling Leaves, banefully. Okay, so that's 3d6. Target number is 14. That's a 20, and I rolled a 10 on the d12, so that's a piercing blow.
Nice.
Oh, would you like to describe how you dispatch Caitlin, the undead ringsmith?
Yep. So Ezel runs towards Caitlin and slides on his knees and thrusts the spear upward towards her clammy, exposed belly, hanging loosely the dead flesh. The spear rises through her body and out between her clavicle.
Oh, it's a Game of Thrones death, I see.
What?
Never thought we'd have a clavicle reverence, but
Ezel springs up and grabs both ends of the spear and begins to twist it. As he twists the spear, the skin slowly begins to remove from her clammy dead body, exposing rotten muscle and shit on the inside.
are you like essentially using the spear as some sort of spring to wind the flesh off?
Yep.
Just clarifying.
Yeah. Once all the skin is removed, he elbows her to the chin and knocks her down and puts the length of the spear in her mouth and pushes down hardly to pop the top of her head off from the mouth.
I've already forgotten who we're talking about.
It's Caitlin.
Zip has woken up by this point. He got to a hospital. He's arguing with his insurance company.
That starts before you get to the hospital.
Well, he's on an HSA.
So she's dead now?
yeah, she died.
Okay. After he does all this, Ezel springs up and puts his arms out and goes, "The aristocrats." It's a joke.
Bungo turns and vomits.
You hear clapping from behind the closed door. So the two of you grab up Zip's fallen body,
Do we? We didn't say we did.
I was just going to denouement, but if you would like to dither, carry on.
Oh, we got him.
We'll take Zip, of course.
And you flee Moria. You run through the darkened corridors, the sound of drums in the deep now echoing your every footstep. You make it through the west gate, out into the bright sun, where you can attempt to heal your fallen companion.
Quick, Bungo, close that door. we now have an expert.
All right, do either of you have healing?
Bungo has a balm for pain.
Oh,
Ezel has a 2 in healing.
that's good enough for me.
Yeah, I have a 1 in healing.
Okay. So basically, one of us could assist the other one by spending a hope to...
Yeah, that's a good idea. Otherwise, Zip dies.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Okay, Bungo, you have a 1 in healing?
That is correct.
Okay, I have a 2, so if you want to spend a hope, if you have it to spare.
I do.
Okay, so it'll give me 3D. My target number is 18. Oh, it's a fucking 17. My target was an 18.
Did you guys use a useful item? Because it sounds like you both had one.
Well, I have my opium.
I have my balm for pain.
Yeah, I don't know that we've ever used these rules.
I've used opium.
Yeah, I've got several useful items that I've used to enhance skills from time to time, like my torch.
I've used opium.
Let's do opium.
Not in
real life?
In the game,
Oh,
if you have a useful
never mind.
item, it gives you a 1D to a relevant skill test.
Thought we were starting a new podcast.
No.
Listen to us smoke opium and fall right asleep.
Yeah, so you can... I'm fine with you rolling an extra die for your useful item that you should have used.
Okay. I will do so. That's a 4, so I got the 1 I needed.
All your opium is gone, but Zip survives.
No!
That's the first thing Zip hears when he wakes up.
So, Zip's life has been saved. He comes back to his senses in about an hour at 1 endurance.
Oof.
It's going to take him about 10 days for his wounded status to change, for him to mend.
I'll tell you what, it's a good thing the adventure's over.
And it leaves a permanent mark. The details are up to the player. It could be a scar, a limp, a missing finger, something like that.
Our boy Zip is fucked.
Yeah.
Literally. He's essentially turning into fucking Mickey Fructose.
Yeah,
Over here.
right.
I have 3 characters that are doing that now.
Yeah.
Harry Flip Flop.
So, Austin, what is the distinctive feature that you take after being hammered by Caitlin, the undead ringsmith in Moria?
Well, we're going to say he lost an eye.
Okay.
Oh, she nailed him in the chest and an eye popped out.
Oh, wow.
I was going to
love
say
it.
something like some deep
It's like one
bruises.
of those G.I. Joe toys that if you hit it really hard, like the face fell off or something.
or maybe
What G.I. Joes did you have?
The Kmart ones.
Hit the action chest and watch the face fall off. My favorite G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe fighting the Bigfoot from the $6 Million Man.
Okay. Here comes Cobra. They want your face off.
So you're missing an eye. Oh, well, it works for me.
Yeah, he's got a patch now.
Your journey back to Bree to meet with Gandalf the Grey is much less exciting, but you return to a quieter life for a while.
Petting our dog, doting on our child.
That's a good El Repo.
3 men and a human baby they found.
I have no eye and 6 shadow scars now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so this will be the end of our One Ring arc for a bit. We'll eventually play it again because there's lots of cool books coming out.
Yeah, we'll probably play the 3 Elven Kings expansion.
Yeah, and so when we return, Zip will look different.
He's going to get a haircut, an eye patch. But all in all, the One Ring is a fantastic system, and Moria Through the Doors of DURIN is a phenomenal supplement.
Yeah, very fucking cool. Like, we love playing it. It is like, we were talking off the podcast, like, this is about as complicated as we can get with our format.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a lot of looking into the books, which is normal gameplay, but like for us, we typically go a little more rules lightish than this. There's a reason we don't play like Pathfinder and D&D. Like,
And this is a little more rules heavy-ish.
and I have no doubt if we were to play this for a year, like a lot of podcasts do, for fucking some reason, like, I can't believe podcasts do that. Because I am so ready to move on from the One Ring.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I said, it's fun. I've enjoyed this campaign, but like with everything else that we've done, that was an extended campaign. When we get to the end, it's like, fuck, I'm ready to do something different.
Ready to move on.
Yeah. It's always fun. But I believe the arcs are every bit about as long as they need to be. Because by the time you get done with one, you're ready to move on, and then by the time you come back to it again, you're ready to play.
Basically, I'm calling out Critical Role to meet us on the field of battle.
Play something fucking different.
I don't know. I've never listened to that show.
Long story short, we're going to be playing 5th edition D&D for the next 30 sessions. You're all playing gnomish burglars.
Oh, God.
But if you do want to hear us playing D&D in a very terrible format, we do have a very old campaign we did on our old podcast that's on the Patreon if you want to subscribe to our Patreon.
Absolutely.
It's not quite finished what we've released on there anyway, but going to be fairly soon.
And we had a nice little surprise when we all got together tonight to record this episode. There were gifts.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, big-ass package from Norse Foundry.
God bless them.
We each got a set of just absolutely gorgeous die.
Yeah, we've each got our own set of full dice sets that are kind of engraved with this tentacle kind of motif all around it. Mine's very black and bronze looking. They're all different colors.
Yeah, I got black and silver.
Corey's got these like emerald and silver.
Yeah.
That's true.
And we each got a giant D20.
It's called the Boulder.
Yeah.
It's fucking dope.
And it's as heavy as a boulder.
Listen to this.
Jesus! No! It's the big one.
They're so beautiful. It reminds me
They
of when
are.
Sauron took on his fair form in order to fool the elves, particularly Celebrimbor, into helping him forge the Rings of Power.
Yeah, that's true.
I was thinking the exact same thing, Kyle.
Goddamn, got the D4 in my eye. I'm zippy now.
And if you would like to see what kind of dice that Norse Foundry has available, all you got to do is go to norsefoundry.com and place an order. They have all manner of dice and all manner of materials. And when you check out, make sure you enter promo code CHAM, that's CHAM, body, for the Bastard Quest. 10% discount.
We should play some games where we play each other's characters.
Oh, why haven't we thought of
Would
that?
be fun.
We can.
Yeah, but anyway, that is norsefoundry.com. We love them.
Can't wait to be Sven.
Also, thank you to our sponsor, Barrel and Bond, 100 Broadway Street in beautiful downtown Paducah, right there on the banks of the Ohio River.
Barrel and Bond recently named once again one of the best bourbon bars in the country.
Yeah.
By Bourbon Orgy magazine.
Yes,
What
yeah,
is it?
right.
It's the big bourbon magazine
Yeah.
names, and I think like only like 10 or 12 bourbon bars in Kentucky, the big bourbon state, got named. And
Wow.
Barrel and Bond is one of them as well. We had two in Paducah, which is awesome because they're usually all in Louisville. So yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're in the bathroom, just remember, when all else fails, just shut the door.
Just close the door.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that door does not latch. No.
that explains the paparazzi when I'm there.
But thank you most of all to you, our listeners, and our Patreon members, our fans, people who communicate with us on social media. We definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, we're gonna probably play a Star Wars next. It's been a while since we played the West End game Star Wars. Then I think we're definitely gonna play Octung Cthulhu again.
Oh, yeah.
Fairly soon. But we got a couple of new games that we kickstarted that just got here, so we're gonna figure all that out for sure. But we're gonna have a few one-offs, maybe one or two episode games that we're very excited about.
Spoiler alert, cocaine.
Oh, it's just right there in front of me. Been there the whole time.
That was also in the Norse Foundry box. I don't know.
Well, let's stop recording so we can have our purgy.
Thank you for listening. I'm Kyle.
Todd.
Corey.
Austin.